What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel today for another review. Today, we're going to be reviewing the new series coming to Prime Video, Jungle, which is going to be releasing September 30th. This is a 6-part drama series that all episodes will be available for you again September 30th on Prime Video. Adversary and myself here to break this one down. So we have seen the first 2 episodes, which I'm going to say the first 2 episodes certainly should get you hooked. I think I was hooked about the first episode about 15 minutes in, but by all means, by 2 episodes you are going to be completely invested into this for a lot of different reasons. So I cannot wait till September 30th so I can check out all 6 part of this mini drama series on Prime Video. But let's just start off with the easy questions here. Adversary, what did you think about the first 2 episodes?
Yo, it was crazy, man. I'm about to walk around and monologue my conversations with a British accent for the next week now.
That was by the way, I totally forgot. First of all, Adversary, I know he's been on the channel plenty of times. It's my guy. But listen, based on this series, and you'll know in a second as we talk about it, but I felt like there was no better person qualified to come in to talk about this. We'll talk about it in a second, but I just felt like there was no person better qualified of our team here at Big O Built Media to come in to do the review for this one. But yeah, go again. Yeah, as I said,
I appreciate it, man.
No
it was like I should have wrote this down, but it was like if Power, Lyricist Lounge, and I forget the third show I was going to say, but it's like if they all came together and had like a threesome. Jungle is the offspring. I love the accents. I love a great British accent. You know what I mean? But I also love that it's okay. Like for me, when I think of that part of the world, you think English people or what have you, the accent, but there's Black people there too. So you still get the culture or that our version of the version of our culture in that area, in that part of the world. Yeah. So you see some of the similarities between how Black folks move there and here, but then you see the differences as well. I love how the writers kept the terminology and the lingo current. I've never been there, but from what I'm aware of and what I've seen, that is pretty much how I believe they're talking now, even with how it was yeah, in it. And they say in it after everything. Come on, bruv. It's current. The slang. If you go over there right now, that's how the cats in the streets is talking. So I love that. I loved how they inserted the rap in between the scenes. So where you had, like I said, with Lyricist Lounge, the entire dialogue was just rapping. In this, you have this script, the dialogue, but then you also have the in-between portions or the breakdowns of certain scenes where they rhyme into each other. It's crazy because the rhyming is still dialogue. They're still conversing. They're still going back and forth, but they're doing it in rhyme form. I love the fact that it was the same beat every time. I didn't know how they was going to do that, but it was the same beat every time. It's fire. The cadence, more or less, was the same the whole time, which is brilliant when you think about it, because it's all right, if I hear the same cadence or the same delivery after a while, it's going to get monotonous. Here, it doesn't do that. I think every artist kind of had their own take on the flow, but they all more or less kept the same cadence. And I love that it was in the pocket, but then slightly out of the pocket at the same time. So they might rhyme in the pocket for 3 bars, but then the 4th bar, they'll carry it over past where the measure loops again and then end the rhyme. But it made it sound fire. It was great. And even the words, I'm listening, I'm watching. I love that they had the subtitles so I could see all the words they were saying. It was so clever. The wordplay, the some of the what's the word? Some of the I guess the points made, and just the way they had the bars, they was actually rhyming. It was fire. I'm sitting there yo, this is fire. Cuz just went in. My dad was yo, I'm in a meeting, turn off the CCTV and if he moves, then I'm reaching with the demon, and I'm screaming. Like how they kept doing that, and everybody was hitting. He's like, "Come on, man, why you do that?" And the blue black, and that, like it was so crazy, like how they broke it down, and you have the emotion of like conversation in the rhyme, and then they was able to go back and forth and keep a dialogue in the rhyme, and then you had the regular script. So yeah. I thought I was hooked, like you said, the first 10 like once they spit the first rap, when he got in the car with Slim and they was rapping on the way to the robbery, I was sold. I said, y'all about to watch this show.
Yeah. I want to cover a lot of stuff really quickly so folks know exactly what it is we're talking about here. So again, Jungle is a 6-part drama series releasing on September 30th. This was produced by Nothing Lost. This is a, should I say, a perspective into the inner London life. I think as Americans, we always got our perception of what we think it is. I think this one gets down to that scene that don't really get a lot of exposure, which to my next point is this is filled with nothing but UK top artists and actors, which you may never heard of them, but like once you get exposed to their performances on this, you're like, oh, they're definitely somebody.
Fire.
You're there. Yeah, there's
it's fire.
Couple of questions I need right now is when the soundtrack is coming out, and is this going to be a reoccurring thing? Because whether you're believing they're acting per se, these are musicians. So there's room for either the actors to grow as musicians or musicians to grow as actors, and the combination of all of it makes everybody look good. So that's what I loved about one. The second thing is, so I obviously a music connoisseur, Adversary is an artist. As a person who, you know, is completely, you know, when I talk about my top fives or what I love, what my ear is out to, I love a pure lyricist, you know. Shout out to my guy Adversary, look him up. but the other big thing is I love trap music. I appreciate battle rap, and then there's this thing called drill music that a lot of folks like to say, oh, that got created in Chicago, which word on the street is that it started in the UK. And I think this makes a strong argument here of saying like, hey, I know y'all talking across the pond, but I think we got the best drill artists over here. And I mean, that's the music I'm consuming right now. So the beats, the performances, and because the performances are a mix of lyrics and dialogue, this blend together is completely unlike anything I've seen in any bit of media, whether it's television, whether it's a film. I have not seen anything like this. And I am a stickler, and I'm not even going to point to what I just recently saw, but I am a stickler about movies that feature rap and the lyrics are garbage. And it's not, and I'm not believing it.
Exactly.
Especially when the lyrics and the rap plays a big part into the plot. Where it's just like, yeah, so I know somebody's talking, you know, trash in their raps, but like, I didn't feel like they said anything bad. He's like, your mama fat and you don't got no money. It's like, okay, so that's not going to hurt nobody's feeling. Your job at build this to be a real thing. But like in this, I believe these bars. I'm sold on these bars. And and the fact of how the music, whether you listen to drill music, so like Adversary said, if you can't understand the lyrics, the captions are there. You read enough to see like, oh yeah, they're definitely going in.
They talking.
And these things are like, they banging back to back.
Yes. That's the brilliance. That's the brilliance, because like I said, you have like Lyricist Lounge is one of my favorite shows of all time, because that was a concept I always had in my head, like in school. Somebody should make a TV show where they rapping for the whole job. And they did it, and they did it well. Wordsworth, Thurston Howe, Masterful, Most Def, you had all kind of cats on there, like they did their thing. Even the non-rapper, you know, actors on the show delivered very well. So it was reminiscent of that. But as I was watching, I said, all right, how does this differentiate itself from the Lyricist Lounge? And I thought they did a brilliant job with that, because it's a combination of regular dialogue and rhyming, but they insert the rhyme right when they're supposed to, so it doesn't feel forced. after a while you come to anticipate and expect it, and they gave it to you just enough. It wasn't overdone, it wasn't underdone. It left you wanting more. Like it put you right in the perfect spot where you wanted more, and they fed you accordingly. It was like every time when you was watching, it was like, yo, I'm ready for somebody to start rapping again. Boom, it would drop it. And like you said, the lyrics, I don't know if each artist just wrote their parts or if they collaborated and wrote the scenes together, but the way it blended, like they was really rhyming.
You haven't said the magic word, which I was just about to say, is that there's ciphers going on in this.
Yeah.
Period.
And it works. Like they feed off each other. The dialogue makes sense. They cover everything in the scene.
Pushing character arcs, pushing the storyline, pushing the drama, the stakes of the drama. Everything's being pushed through the lyrics and the raps. So I say.
And the lyricism is present. Like with, I don't even want to say basic. That's not the right word. But they kept the flow.
It's organic. It's organic.
They kept the flow simple.
That's my biggest thing.
But it was still the complexity was still very much there at the same time. Right. If you just listen to how they was delivering the bar, like Slim, I don't know I gotta go look up who played Slim.
So Slim is played by, and again, and to be clear, we watched it. We're here for the review, so I have not had my chance to go look up folks, but I did, look at the casting. Slim is played by, either it's pronounced Ra because it's R-A, or his name is R-A. So it's one or the other. Who is alongside of Go-Go, played by Ezra Elliott, just to kind of give you what's happening in this. So you do have a couple of different strangers where everybody's all kind of facing their own struggles, and we're kind of seeing them all sort of connected from different vantage points of just, should I almost say like life on the streets or dealing in the streets in London. But what happened in this is that, Go-Go was just trying to make a change in his life. This is hitting a lick. They go for a robbery, him and Slim. It's all good until Slim goes overboard and he ends up killing the person, which I'm going to come back to this in a second. And because Go-Go being in this situation, all eyes pointed to him. He's like not only guilty by association, but he's also being considered to be sort of the brainchild of this. So everybody's looking after him. He has a family. He has a newborn on the way. And his wife is, I guess, 7 months pregnant. She's definitely far along, so he has stakes at home, and he went from going out to just trying to make, more money, a couple of dollars in order to support his family, to end up being involved in this murder where everybody on the streets is looking for him. So every move that he make is critical and pivotal for not only him, but the next person. So that's the dynamic of this, is you have these conversations, these rendezvous between all these different characters at different points, either looking for Slim, looking for Go-Go. Go-Go's looking to move stuff in order to make some money of the stuff that they robbed. The person who was killed, he had folks. So it's a whole bunch of different things going on. So in these points, in these 2 episodes at that, you got these interactions that are sparking off these conversations, but also blanketed around music and rap. And one thing I want to quickly say is that all these characters are interesting. While it's easy to say Go-Go's your main character, you seem to be really pulling towards Slim, but then there's other characters.
Slim is my favorite right now.
He's
too believable. I believe everything. I believe him.
I believe Mia, the chick who can move anything, who's involved with everything. And it's just like there's so many characters you easily can invest in. And I also think what's interesting is that if you are a music lover, you also start loving characters based on their flow, where you're like, oh yeah.
And that's why I think that's why Slim is my favorite, because his rap was very top tier, but his acting is the character he plays. Like, okay, I give you, when Bel Air was on and they had Easy to Block Captain, right? The character he portrayed, and it was only for like an episode and a half. I thought he did such a great job at portraying that character. When you see him, your mind goes to rap, and it's like, but he did that. So it took me right there. When I saw Slim, it was the same thing. Here's a guy that can really rhyme, but can be very believable on screen as this character he's portraying. everything about it. When they went in the elevator and the door closed, he pulled up the mask. It goes back to the elevator. It opens. He walks in. He got the scowl on his face. Go-Go gets nervous, and he tells Go-Go Energy, like, yo, I'm gonna bust you if you don't open this door. And it's like, damn, dog, he's on the robbery with you. But he's a no-nonsense guy from the jump. When they get back in the car and they're going over the lick and going through the stuff, and he's like, yo, what's that? And they start going back and forth about the watch. And every time they show him, he's always in the car sitting with this, I can't even describe the look because it's shades, so you don't even know what his eyes look like, but he always got the shades on, and he always has this kind of, like it's something, like it's a bunch of things going on in his head while the dialogue is happening. Just the portrayal was great to me. The angles, the even the feel, it felt like the camera work, the background, the scenery was, I don't even know what word to use, but it was very well put together.
I'll say this. You mentioned the watch too. In the robbery / murder, the watch happens to be the biggest beacon of interest of everybody. So that's like the connecting factor, and they make it very known by how it was shot. Yeah, whoever was the cinematographer for this clearly has some music. They got some music background. I mean, it looks like in a very extended music video. In terms of the production, in terms of some of the angles they shot, I'm a sucker for low light neon colors. So the fact that they really make they give London this very
like borderline cyberpunk, steampunk type of feel, but it's hip hop and trap and drill and all mixed in one. Yeah,
right, for sure. Like definitely cyberpunk with an urban feel. Like it feels. It's dope, and things feel kind of futuristic. There's an old school with a digital dash, so like there's little things you pick up on. But yeah, definitely the cinematographer. I mean, he or she was amazing, and by all means has some type of music video background, because just how some of these little ciphers look like a music video, but some of the other shots that happen, like the shot where the murder happened, this slow motion effect that they did was really cool. But overall, this night neo sort of color grading that they use for everything, which I'm a sucker for in films, music videos, photography. I love that aesthetic, which you can kind of see in the background back here. It's sort of not my background, but of the video. It's that look, and I thought they did a really good job. And I also think, like, like much like you said, you mentioned power, but like, if you love crime, if you love, there's no actual drugs just yet, maybe it's coming, but if you love crime, which obviously has something affiliated with drugs and whatnot, that whole genre was totally dope. Go ahead.
Now I was gonna say the drug they kept referring to GD. They kept saying, well, I guess it's gold dust.
Yeah. Right. Facts. So crime, drugs, music, pop culture, but gritty. This is the look into the streets of London that I don't think this perspective has been shown on TV, played by actors and artists from this life, that really told stories within these characters that probably are very close to them, things they've seen and all sorts of different things. And then, like I said, it's blanketed around drill music and the drill scene, period. So like, it's, to me, and again, even for me not knowing, these actors are in artist's body of work, it comes off beyond authentic. The performances, the world building in this, I'm just so invested into that. Like I really can't wait to see the rest.
And it hyped me even more because they had like 3 gangster white boys in that jump, and they was all rapping. They had the big gangster bully white boys, and they was rapping.
Yeah,
flowing on time with it, adding to the mixture. Like it was great. Like I sitting down initially, at least my mind is like, okay, they're telling us to say, okay, street story, guys running. That's kind of the initial thought. All you have to go off is just jungle. Okay, jungle, concrete, jungle, street stuff. All right, cool. 15 minutes in, you like, all right, hold up. An episode in, it's like, oh, this is a whole different ball game. They completely shattered where I thought they were going, and they took it somewhere else. I will say the actor, the guy that plays Go-Go, reminds me, and I don't know why. Maybe it's the type of character that he's playing, but he reminds me very much of the guy in that Cuba Gooding Jr. movie where he was good in chess, and he like had to go. I think it's called King. And he got locked up and went to like a public school and was like a janitor in there trying to build himself back up. And there was kids in there. He started teaching them how to play chess and stuff. And one of the kids ends up getting shot in the movie, but he reminds me so much of Go-Go. Like he was kind of in the mix, but not really about it. Like not really about that life, but just in it because of the environment. Yeah. And it was the same thing. Even this, in the scene, I believe it was the scene where Go-Go had the devil angel on his shoulder, like he was rapping with both sides of his consciousness in the car. And the good part of his consciousness even said, like, yo, we not about this life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's, like, but I just the overall presentation was just brilliant, bro. I was hooked. The more I watched, the more I wanted to see, the more rap I heard, the more rap I wanted to hear. Like, I'm sitting on it, yo, it's fine. It's like it's so infectious. I'm like, yo, this is a problem. When I go to work Monday, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna be at work like, yo, I just clocked in. No, it's like I'm gonna just be like, I can't unhear it now.
Yeah, for sure. As a person who don't like musicals, I'm digging this. This is dope, and I can't stress enough. You folks got to check this out. This is Jungle 6-part drama series, which is coming to Amazon Prime Video September 30th. Once you check it out, let us know in the comments your thoughts about this series. And hell, if you're addicted like we were instantly, you might as well go ahead and drop that in the comments below too, because I tell you, much like, I mean, he mirrors my thoughts here, but 10-15 minutes in the first episode, I was like, oh.
Like, oh, that's what that's how they about to do it.
First scene, I was just like, wait, what? Then I was like, okay. And then I started listening to it. I was like, oh.
Bro. And that's the thing for me. When someone puts a piece like this together, it's either like, I don't feel like it's gray. There's no any gray area. Either you knock it out the ballpark or you just it's terrible. Because the thing for me is always the scene that they're like, if they make a skate movie or they make a rap movie, they make a basketball movie, all these, particular themed or conceptual movies or TV shows, whatever it is. My question is always, do you capture the scene authentically? The reason 8 Mile was such a great movie is because that is exactly what freestyle battles look like at this spot, whether it's the rec center or I forget what they called it, the homeless shelter, whatever it was. That's how that is. You walk in, it's a ton of people. You got the stage, the DJ, you got your 2 opposing MCs, and it literally, that is the atmosphere. As soon as the beat drop, you got one time. Go in or you go home. If your bars is weak, they will laugh you out. If you're killing it, the crowd will the crowd will be extra with you. So like 8 Mile was so great to me because the scenes and the display, they captured the authenticity of that underground battle scene. If you know anything about it, if you ever been to an event, that's what that looks like. Same thing if they do like a B-boy documentary. I'm watching it for okay, does this look like the B-boy battles I went to? Is the setup the same? Do they have the music the same? Are the crews going back and forth? You know what I mean? So like for them to do that, even though I have never been to the UK, I've never been to that side of the world, but just what I know of it and what I've seen of it around, I feel like they nailed the authenticity of that scene. Like you said, that's how them dudes really talk. Yeah. That's how them dudes really rhyme. That's how them dudes really dress. That's how them dudes, that's how they move. That's how they connect. That's how they operate. So it just makes it that much better because then it's like, all right, I'm not watching something made up or pretend. And if it is made up, it's done in such a way where it feels very real. So I can sit and enjoy it and consume it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, right on. Yeah, folks, jump in the comments. Let us know your thoughts all about this series. And we'll be sticking around because, we need to check out those other 4 episodes as well, too. So thank you so much for checking out our review of the first 2 episodes. And we see you back see you back soon and later for many more. Sooner than later for many more reviews. Thank you for watching, folks.
All right.
Big Go Bell.